There is a creature that most people crush without thinking, not because it's dangerous, not because it has ever attacked anyone, but because it has 8 legs and moves in a way that triggers something ancient inside the human brain. A reflex, a silent certainty that the right thing to do is eliminated. That reflex is destroying the gardens of millions of people. And nobody knows it. The spider that almost everyone kills without hesitation. That thing with the impossibly long legs and tiny body that appears in the corners of garages, along the damp edges of basements, in the loose soil next to your plants, turns out to be one of the most efficient pest control structures that exists in nature. It costs nothing. It needs no maintenance. It reproduces on its own. It has been doing the same job for millions of years, and humans have been eliminating it for generations over a reason that scientists have spent decades trying to correct without success. Today, you are going to see exactly what you are killing, what happens when you remove it, and where the lie came from that turned an ally into an enemy. The first thing to understand is that the name Daddy Longlegs does not describe a single animal. It describes two completely different creatures that humans have been confusing with each other for centuries. And that confusion is where the entire problem begins. The first is the harvestman, technically an opilion, not a spider at all. It is not even an arachnid in the same category. It has no venom glands. It produces no silk. It builds no webs. Its body is a small oval capsule suspended on 8 extraordinarily long legs, as if someone had tied toothpicks to a lentil. It lives on the ground, among decomposing leaves, at the edges of gardens where nobody looks. The second is the cellar spider falsity in scientific nomenclature. This one is a true spider. It produces silk. It has venom. It builds irregular, almost chaotic webs in the corners where shadow accumulates. Its legs are thinner than a sewing thread, and its body hangs from them like a drop about to fall. Two completely different animals. Same human reaction. Crush it against the wall and move on. Think about the scale of this mistake. Millions of gardens, millions of homes, two organisms with irreplaceable ecological functions, eliminated week after week by people absolutely convinced they are doing the right thing. But there is another reason this confusion persists with such force. A legend, a claim so often repeated, so automatically accepted, that it became one of the most widespread biological myths in the modern world. The daddy longlegs is the most venomous animal on the planet. Its fangs are too small to penetrate human skin. If it could bite you, you would be dead. Think about the structure of this lie. It contains just enough plausibility to avoid being questioned the small fangs are real. The threatening appearance is real, but the conclusion is completely false. And for decades, nobody challenged it publicly and forcefully until 2004, when an American television program had 2 people allow cellar spiders to bite them on camera. The result was a mild local irritation that disappeared within minutes. The harvestman does not even have venom glands. It physically cannot poison you. It never could. And yet, the legend keeps circulating, keeps being taught in schoolyards, keeps being the justification people give themselves in the second before crushing something that has spent millions of years harming no one. So, what exactly does the thing you are killing actually do? Picture your garden as a system of scales. On one side, the plants. On the other, everything that wants to eat them. Aphids that multiply in geometric spirals up tender stems, mites that bore through leaves from underneath until they turn transparent, caterpillar eggs that spend weeks invisible before hatching into an infestation that can strip an entire plant in days, slugs that move through the soil at night without anyone seeing them. The harvestman eats all of those things. Eats. Not selectively, not occasionally. Systematically, night after night, moving across the soil on those long legs that function like sensors, detecting movement and heat in the dark. It eats aphids. It eats mites. It eats insect eggs before they hatch. It eats decomposing fungi. It eats organic matter in the process of breaking down, accelerating the nutrient cycle that keeps the soil alive. And the cellar spider does something equally precise at a different level. It eats mosquitoes. It eats moths. It eats other spiders, including species that do represent a real risk to humans. There is documented evidence of cellar spiders capturing and consuming black widows inside domestic structures. The animal that looks like a threat is in many cases what stands between you and a real one. A garden where these creatures have been systematically eliminated is not a safer garden. It is a garden that has lost its immune system. And this is where the data becomes uncomfortable. Studies on biodiversity in urban and suburban gardens show a pattern that repeats with enough consistency to be impossible to ignore. Areas where soil arthropods, including harvestmen, are scarce, show significantly higher pest damage. Not marginally higher, significantly. Aphids reach explosive densities. Mites establish on leaves faster. Plants require more chemical intervention to maintain damage levels that would otherwise be controlled naturally. Think about the irony of this. The person who kills the daddy longlegs because they want to protect their garden is, in that exact same gesture, removing the mechanism that makes the garden need less protection. It is like disconnecting your home's alarm system because the noise is annoying. But there is an aspect even less visible than pest control. Harvestmen are decomposers. They process dead organic matter, fallen leaves, insect remains, root fragments, and convert it into material available to soil microorganisms. They are an active part of the nutrient cycle. Their presence in garden soil is a direct indicator of microbial health. When you see them moving through the fallen leaves along the wall of your garden, you are not looking at a pest. You are looking at the oldest and most efficient composting system that exists. Soil without them works more slowly. It degrades faster. It needs more outside intervention to stay fertile. The question that remains is why this information has not traveled further. The venom myth has been publicly debunked for over 20 years. The data on their ecological function has been published in accessible scientific literature for decades. And yet, the most common reaction when someone spots a daddy longlegs in their home is still the same. Find something to crush it with. The answer is not in biology. It is in psychology. The fear of arachnids is not completely irrational from an evolutionary standpoint. There was a time when quickly distinguishing between something harmless and something potentially dangerous had survival value. The problem is that this detection system operates by visual similarity, not by analysis. 8 legs trigger the alarm. The brain does not wait for more information. The decision is already made before any conscious thought can intervene, and the venom myth fills the information gap with a narrative that confirms what fear had already decided. You do not need to investigate. The legend already tells you that you were right to be afraid. It is just that the fangs are too small for it to matter this time. That structure fear first, confirming story second is almost impossible to dismantle with data. The data arrives too late. The spider is already dead. What makes this animal such a strange subject of study is not its biology. It is what it reveals about how we make decisions. We have spent generations eliminating something that helps us, protected by a certainty that was never true, executing a reflex that mistakes an ally for a threat. And the ecosystem we maintain in our gardens and homes absorbs it in silence, adjusting to each absence, degrading in increments too small to be attributed to a single cause. There is no giant infestation that appears the day after you kill a daddy longlegs. There is, over the following months, one more aphid reaching the stem, one more mite establishing on the leaf, a nutrient cycle working a little more slowly, a plant that needs a little more help to stay healthy. The damage does not arrive with a visible moment. It arrives accumulated, invisible, distributed across time in a way that makes it almost impossible to connect to the cause. The next time you see those impossibly long legs moving across the corner of a basement or through the damp soil next to your plants, you know what you are looking at. It is not a threat you tolerate because the fangs happen to be too small. It is a system that works, that has been working for millions of years, and that is asking nothing from you in return, except that you do not crush it.